into the protest area more than one. I dare not to say I can tell you the real truth about the umbrella revolution, but at least I can give you a bigger picture of what's going on in Hong Kong. Hong Kong was still known as a cold, lack of creativity, and a not united city. But 3 months later, now, if anyone dare to say the above, I bet he or she had never been to the protest area, from government headquarters to all the major streets in Hong Kong, from students to every age group of the society. This is the first time in my life seeing such a unity in Hong Kong people. September 28th, Hong Kong police force fired 87 tear gases towards the unarmed students. I was there. I saw how the police treated the unarmed students. I saw how the police oppressed the voices of their fellow citizens. I also felt the pain and the burn of the tear gas. The reason for me to come up, though, never matched the purpose of the Occupy Central movement, umbrella revolution. I came up not because I want a civil nomination. I came up because I believe in freedom. I believe in freedom of assembly. I believe in freedom in voicing out our discontent towards our government. And mostly, I came up because one day, when I grow up, I can be so proud to tell my children, what did their father do as a student? How did their father stand in front of a bunch of police with just an umbrella and an eye protector to protect the other protesters? Some may ask, why? Why are the students dare to come out? Don't they know how dangerous it can be? Of course we know how dangerous it can be. Of course we know we will get pepper spray. Of course we know we will get arrested. But we just say, it's worth it. Hong Kong's future worth us to sacrifice, to take the hit. The reason behind us is simple. It's as simple as one word, as simple as one picture. Because we love Hong Kong. Because we love Hong Kong, we dare to come out. We are willing to take the hit. Because we love Hong Kong, we have to stand up. We have to tell the Chinese Communist Party, you can't do whatever you want in Hong Kong. And because we love Hong Kong, I want all of you to listen to the following. The other side of the umbrella revolution. Democracy is actually for freedom. Democracy respects freedom of speech and the freedom of other people. But if you were there, if you were in the protest area, you'll see the people condemning others with all the flavors you can imagine, just because they have different views. I've seen how the protesters will mobilize mass to shut your mouth up. I've seen how the speakers of the so-called public podium were actually well selected. Not to mention there are people out there blocking the anti-RXs. Not to mention there are people out there hindering other businessmen to operate their own business. Every interest group, in fact, during the movement, tried their very best to eliminate the voices of the opponents. But, let us put aside whether your opponents were right or wrong, whether you like it or not. Isn't the freedom of speech the foundation of a democratic society? Isn't the freedom of your fellow citizen the foundation of a democratic society? If people don't have the right to choose sides, don't have the freedom to choose their own sides, what is the difference between democracy and dictatorship? Another problem I spotted was most of the protesters actually want to implement leftist policy with democracy. To me, or to land road. Democracy is a means to flourish. We want the people to express their own talents. We want the people to be responsible for themselves. But if you ask the protesters what kind of policy they want, you'll be surprised. These are actually the requests, the demand for the protesters. As you can see, they demand for rent control to interfere the housing market. They demand for price control to interfere the public transport market. They even demand for trade barriers to limit the export from Hong Kong to China. I mean, if you want to destroy Hong Kong's freedom, if you want to destroy Hong Kong's freedom, free market economy, these are all fine measures. The protesters, though, holding the flag of democracy, but their way to solve problems or the policy they advocated match the principle of a totalitarian government. The only difference between the protester and the totalitarian government is, in fact, from the tyranny of few to the tyranny of the majority. The protester too favors commune style of operation. During the movement, there are numerous of supply stations inside the protest area. You can take whatever you need for free, and all the workers inside that station are volunteers. It seems not only to the protesters, but to all Hong Kong people, an appealing way, an appealing style of operation. They even renamed the protest area as hardcore commune, in a sense of a mini society, their utopia. Yet, most of the protesters neglected that the operation of the hardcore commune was actually because there are people who are generous enough to buy all the supplies in order to support the operation of the hardcore commune. Without a bunch of people working so hard in the free market and sacrificing their rewards, the hardcore commune wouldn't last more than a month instead of operating 3 months. I mean, Hong Kong is a beautiful place, starting from a mere fishing village to nowadays international powerhouse. The falling of Hong Kong is the last thing we want to see. But seeing there are so many protesters, so enthusiastic to change the society, but do not hold the proper knowledge to do so. Seeing there are protesters regarding democracy as another form of collectivism. Seeing there are Hong Kong people regarding free market economy as a bad thing, as a source of injustice. I feel responsible to tell all of you the other side of the umbrella revolution, the other side of Hong Kong. Don't get me wrong, I personally supported this democratic movement in Hong Kong. I stayed there more than a month. But a process is not enough. We need education. We need to tell the people, to educate the people with proper knowledge to change the society. The Landmark Institute planned to organize a series of seminars and forums in Hong Kong to teach willing students about the virtues of the market and sound economy. With only Landmark, we can achieve so little. We need your help. We need the help of everyone here today as a speaker to teach the Hong Kong people the kind of democracy which fosters liberty. We need you to let the Hong Kong people know the virtues of the market. Interested parties can contact me or Peter Wong, the director of Landmark Institute, after this session. Thank you.